The Tom Girardi saga finally came to an end on June 3, 2025, when the disgraced attorney was sentenced to 7 years in prison for stealing millions of dollars from his clients. This case has been dragging on for years, so there was plenty of time for Erika Jayne to emotionally prepare for this outcome. However, one of her lawyers says the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star isn't doing well after the sentencing. Erika Jayne hasn't spoken publicly about Tom Girardi's prison sentence. Briefing on Bravo spoke to an attorney named Jim Wilkes. At one point, fans thought he was dating Erika, but he's actually just a longtime friend of the Girardis. He's also representing her in one of her many civil suits. Jim has had a front row seat to all of Erika's legal and marital troubles. Now that Tom has been sentenced, he said Erika has been experiencing a wave of emotions. We're not sure if guilt was a part of that wave. I'm sure she's emotionally destroyed, but there's a part of her that's shut off and compartmentalized, Jim explained. He continued, if someone you loved and trusted, and everyone else told you to trust, broke every bit of trust you had in them, and didn't even tell you, covered it up, how would you feel? Jim noted how Tom's dementia diagnosis has made these last few years even more difficult for Erika. She's still legally married to him, and Jim predicted it will stay that way until Tom kicks the bucket. Either way, Tom has been ordered to surrender to the authorities by July 17. The Erika Jayne cast is expected to start filming soon for season 15, so we might be seeing Erika's reaction to all of this on Bravo. The final act, June 3, 2025, was supposed to be just another hot, hazy Los Angeles day. But in a dim federal courtroom in downtown LA, history was made, or at least concluded. The man once revered as the king of tort law, Tom Girardi, was sentenced to 7 years in federal prison for the theft of millions from his own clients, widows, orphans, burn victims, plane crash survivors. The very people he once swore to protect. In a town of glitz and betrayal, it was the end of a long, public unraveling. But for Erika Jayne, it was only the beginning. The velvet cage. Erika Girardi stared blankly at the muted television in her Beverly Hills home. Though home was a generous word now. The mortgage had been refinanced under her new LLC, and half the furnishings were leased for appearances. The Bravo crew wasn't due to arrive until next week, and silence, her once-hated companion, had become a comfort, or maybe a punishment. Jim Wilkes' voice echoed in her head. There's a part of her that's shut off. Damn right it was. That part had shut down the day the FBI raided her Pasadena mansion in 2021. That part had gone quiet when Tom stopped recognizing her name and started calling her by the name of his first wife. And that part had learned to stay silent when the world, Twitter, courtrooms, even a few housewives, called her a gold digger and coocher. But silence didn't mean apathy. Erika turned off the television. She had watched the sentencing footage on loop. Watched Tom, frail, in a wheelchair, looking more ghost than man, bow his head in shame as the judge read out the sentence. 7 years. He wouldn't make it. Not with his Alzheimer's, not in that body, not with that soul, and that, more than anything, terrified her. Because what happens when the monster dies, but the nightmares remain. Jim Wilkes had known Tom Girardi for decades. He had shared courtrooms, dinners, and the occasional dirty secret with the man, but even he hadn't known the full extent. I defended him longer than I should have, Jim admitted one night, sitting across from Erika with 2 glasses of untouched scotch between them. She wore a pale pink robe, the kind that whispered wealth even when she was broke. Her makeup was immaculate, but her eyes betrayed her. There was a weariness that even 20 filters on Instagram couldn't erase. You think I knew? She asked softly. Jim sighed. I don't think you wanted to know. That silence again. You're still legally married to him, he added, almost accusingly. I know. Why? Erika's answer was as dry as her scotch. because it's cleaner this way. The Housewife and the Hollow Man. When Erika first met Tom, she was just a waitress at Chasen's. He was rich, brilliant, 30 years her senior, but he made her feel seen. And for a girl who'd clawed her way from a trailer park in Georgia, being seen was its own kind of salvation. But over time, that admiration curdled into obedience. Love gave way to control, gifts turned into cages, and the marriage became a business. The public saw her as complicit. But Erika had learned long ago that the world didn't want the truth, it wanted a villain. That's what she gave them. She played the cold, unbothered Ice Queen. She released a single titled $XXPEN IVE and walked into court in Balenciaga. She turned her trauma into television, not because she was proud, but because being hated for being strong was better than being pitied for being broken. Beverly Hills Lies. The cameras started rolling again in July. Season 15 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills would be a reckoning. Erika knew it. The producer, Shelley, pulled her aside before her first on-camera interview. "We want raw," Shelley said. "Honest. People want to see the Erika behind the glam." Erika tilted her head. "Do they, or do they want to see me cry and beg for sympathy?" Shelley offered a tight smile. "Same thing these days." In her confessional, Erika stared into the camera, eyes hard. "I'm not going to pretend I'm okay," she said. "But I'm not going to fall apart for anyone's entertainment either. My husband betrayed me. He betrayed his clients. He betrayed the entire justice system. And I have to wake up every day married to that." Pause. "Do I feel guilty? No, but I feel ruined." Cut. Print. Tom's cell. July 17 came fast. Tom surrendered quietly. No cuffs, no press, just a whisper of wheelchairs and federal marshals. He was placed in the Federal Medical Center in Rochester, Minnesota, one of the few places equipped to deal with inmates suffering from dementia. His first day, he didn't recognize the guards. By the end of the week, he didn't remember why he was there. But the pain didn't need remembering. It lingered in the building like smoke. And in Beverly Hills, Erika felt it like a ghost on her skin. The letters. 2 weeks after Tom's incarceration, Erika received a letter. The handwriting was shaky, almost childlike. The return address was the prison. It read, "Dear Erika, I don't remember much, but I remember your laugh. They tell me I did terrible things. I believe them. I don't understand it all, but I know I hurt people. I hurt you. I'm sorry. Tom." She read it 5 times, then burned it in the sink. The next day, she filmed a scene with the other housewives at Lisa Rinna's house. When asked how she felt about Tom, she smiled. "Closure," she said simply. "It's not as satisfying as people think." The verdicts we carry. Erika wasn't out of the woods. Civil suits still loomed. Her legal bills were astronomical, and public sympathy came and went with the wind. But something had shifted. She was no longer playing defense. Jim Wilkes fought like hell in court. He argued that Erika had been kept in the dark, shielded by Tom, manipulated by the very man the legal system had now condemned. It worked, partially. A few cases were dismissed. A few were settled. A few dragged on like old scars. But slowly, Erika began rebuilding, not her brand, not her career, but herself. The last goodbye. In December 2025, Erika visited the prison. She didn't tell anyone. No cameras, no press, just a woman in oversized sunglasses and a turtleneck, walking through cold metal detectors and institutional hallways. Tom didn't recognize her. He called her sweetheart and asked if she was there to sell him insurance. She smiled. "No, I just came to say goodbye." He nodded, confused. "That's nice of you." And for the first time in years, Erika felt free. The comeback nobody saw coming. By March 2026, Erika had a new single climbing the dance charts. It was called Resilient, a mid-tempo ballad turned anthem. Lyrics like "You burned the world" and called it "Love Slash" But I Survived the Smoke Above resonated with fans in a way her earlier songs never did. Bravo rebranded her storyline from scandal to survival. The audience, fickle as ever, began to root for her. And yet, fame wasn't the finish line anymore. Erika didn't want redemption. She didn't want revenge. She just wanted peace. And for the first time in her life, she was beginning to believe she deserved it.